Hi, Dr. B here. Welcome to Dr. B Uncensored, where we interview candid thought leaders, entrepreneurs, and founders to tell their story to aspire and inspire others to do the same. Hopefully, you enjoyed this episode.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Dr. B Show. I'm here with the great Jermane Cheathem. Jermaine, how you doing today?
Good, man. Good to see you again.
Yeah, same here. I'm excited to do this show and excited for this interview, man. So let's not waste any time. Let's dive right into it.
Cool.
Tell tell everyone about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm an entrepreneur. I always believe that entrepreneurship is the easiest path to not only financial freedom, but personal freedom. And so I've always looked for ways to find better models and ways to find more leverage to not only have a better return, more impact on others, but also get your time back because life is short and we all die. So I want to enjoy it.
That's right. I'm sure we all die, so might as well make that a hyphen, right? What is it? The hyphen on that tombstone, make it worthwhile, right? So I love that. I love that. Hey man, let's I wanna I'm a big educator. You can't see it here, but if I point the camera to my right, I have my, degrees and all that here, right? So you went to the University of Arizona, pursued degrees in finance and business. Did this help you in any way in what you're doing today?
Somewhat. I mean, I'm the I'm of the idea that college and higher education is only good for specialists. So if you want to be a neurosurgeon, sure, go to college, go get further education. Um, but for me, college only learned taught me how to become more resourceful and how to understand the power of relationships and your network, and how to delegate and how to prioritize. But as far as the actual what I learned, no, it didn't help me because really what I've learned is the most leverage thing you can ever do is get into sales, and then that will teach you everything you need to know about the power of relationships and the power of leveraging relationships for win-win situations.
Yes, I know that firsthand. I agree to an extent the same. Like everything that I've done, right? Like my degrees in management, so yeah, showed me project management here and that. Am I doing exactly what was what I was doing 20 years ago? No, but I think I agree with you. The power of relationships, the power of learning entrepreneurship, that I agree with you helps to an extent there, right? So, and yeah, and I agreed. If it's a doctor or a nurse or something, where like, hey, you're coming out of that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man. So prior, I'm gonna get into creators learn in a minute, right? So prior to that, you worked also in at Summit Commercial Finance. You spoke about it, VP of Sales, helping finance commercial equipment. What did that teach you?
That taught me a lot, man. Number one, it taught me is it's more important to pick the right vehicle as far as what you're selling than really anything else. Because people look at finance and they think, oh, I don't know anything about finance. I don't know anything about numbers, but they don't realize 90% of all finance is like fifth grade math. It's very basic stuff. And so if you really want to find a leveraged business model, you have to be in the finance space because it's digital, it's lucrative, it's evergreen demand. It's like one of those niches that makes a lot of sense if you're in the business of making money. If you're in the business of having your time back and having scale and having a simple model. So that really taught me, hey, pick your niche number one very carefully. Um, and also it taught me, hey, you can only have so much freedom as an employee. Even though I was a VP of sales, I had money, but I didn't have freedom. I still had to go to the office, I had to go to dumb meetings, I still had to follow their rules and protocols. So I was never completely fully actualized until I started my entrepreneurial journey after that job.
Very interesting. I literally just had this conversation 2 calls ago regarding someone else who wanted to. He went from real estate. He went to, hey man, I wanted to. He went into lending, right? So he goes, I'm always gonna be in demand, which is true, right? No matter what AI, this and that, people are gonna always need money, right? So that's his business now. And I was like, oh man, more power to you, and it does make a lot of sense. Now, my question, I have a follow up question to that, as far as what you just said. Why do you think it matters for individuals to kind of like believe or understand the power of the sale? Because certain people could sell anything, right? But for others, or for most, you have to like be passionate about it. Like, why do you think that's important?
Well, if it comes down to belief. Like if you're selling something you do not believe in, or you don't know if it works, or you've never actually done it yourself, it's hard to have any conviction. Like conviction's the eighth wonder of the world, especially in sales. So if you have conviction on whatever you're talking about, people would believe you, even if the facts are wrong, even if you misspoke, even if you're not polished. It doesn't matter. They care about conviction. And so belief is built from conviction, and conviction is built from actually doing the thing, seeing the results. And now 110% sure that this thing works. This thing produces the result that you say it does. This thing helps people do the thing you say it does. So conviction is everything when it comes to sales or business in general, because you can't succeed if you don't believe in the thing you're talking about or talking to the people to. Like in my business, I'm always talking to potential partners, and I'm always thinking to myself in the back of my head, if this person doesn't want to partner with me, they're the one that is losing, not me, because I'm bringing so much value. I know I will be the best partner they could have in this particular lane. They'd be foolish not to. So if they say no, say la vie, it's okay. But you're silly not to work with me. So that's what I mean by conviction.
I like that, and I think even in what I do today, you kind of have to be convincing or convicted when it comes to raising capital, right? And I think what works for me, or what has worked for me, but most importantly for my investors, is like I've been there, done that. I'm in the trenches with them, whether it's actively, passively. So I could relate to them, right? And I think that's important, right? Do you agree with that? That almost you have to kind of be relatable to an extent, like especially
Yeah,
when it comes
because
to that world.
well, for sure, because it's never. There's no such thing as convincing. Convincing never works.
Right, right, exactly.
The
That's what I meant to
the
say. Convicted,
yeah,
not convinced.
the only thing that actually works is being yourself, listening, like trying to get to the truth, like trying to get to the bottom of like whatever the hell's going on, whatever you're looking to do, what is at the core bottom of this, so we can actually examine this and make a decision based on first principles. And so there's zero convincing, there's zero trying to persuade. It's like literally you just showing up with your expertise or your knowledge bank or your questions, and then going from there. And people will naturally gravitate towards you because you're not trying. You're just like trying to figure out a solution. There's no sale. Like, here's the solution. We can work together or we don't, but that's that.
Exactly. Yep, yep. And then what do they say? Like the salesman, part of their toolkit, one of the biggest assets is the question, the power of questions, right? So very important when it comes to that. I love that. We're gonna pivot a little bit, man. So, tell us how'd you start the whole Creators Learn? How'd you start that your business model? Tell us about that, the origins of that.
Yeah, so the creators learn is funny, man, because I always believe there's two types of people in the world, and there's creators and there's victims. So if you're living a life or you have a business that is not fulfilling you and you're complaining about it, well, you have two options: you either complain and be a victim, or you create the one that you actually want to. And so it's a place where I basically took all my expertise in the finance world and I packaged it into a training for people that wanted to leverage finance. Because the great thing about finance is it rules the world. It's evergreen demand. Banks always want to lend. Businesses always need money, and so people forget about this middle area of brokers that run a large portion of this trillion-dollar system, where we have to be the bridge to help the businesses get the money and help the banks lend it out. So Creators Learn is a place where entrepreneurs learn this business model and how they can apply it in part-time and make six-figure incomes just by becoming this specialized niche broker.
I have a follow up to that. So I think I saw on your LinkedIn, on your website, you empower B2B professionals to achieve financial freedom as strategic connectors. What does that mean?
Yeah, so that's the broker. So
A broker in the
you're not
middle?
doing the work. You're the middleman. So the whole point is like let the experts be the experts and let the experts do 95% of the work. The banks are the experts. The business owners are the experts. The people that sell commercial equipment, those are the experts in all that stuff. As the broker, as the middleman, I'm not an expert in any of it. I simply just bring them together and I get a piece of the pie. And so that way I get my time back. It's still leveraged because they're doing the selling for me. Because if you think about that three foot stool, the banks, the business owner, and the equipment seller that is selling to the business owner, I don't have to do any of the work because I simply just partner with the equipment seller. He
Right.
brings me into the deal. He pre-sells everything. The customer already wants to buy the equipment. The bank already wants to lend it. It's literally like, here you go. Wipe my hands, collect my check, and I move on. So that's what I mean by the connector economy is where it's at if you want to leverage business model.
Makes a lot of sense. Kind of reminds me of me, like when I do the capital raising, right? There's a deal, there's an investor, and then there's me, right? In order for them to go to A to C, they got to go through me, B. So I'm like the middle person, right? Like you said, when it comes to that, it kind of reminds me of that. So it's pretty awesome. As a follow up to that, man, so tell us about. I looked at your website as well, the 3-step connector system for business professionals to get, I guess 10K paydays, right, in their spare time. I looked at your website. I did some research. I'm the one of the rare guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the entire three steps are really the idea of okay, the right product first has to be financial services. The second step is really okay, where is the leverage? And it has to be super, super simple. And the model is really, I call it MVPs, most valuable partners. You already have the banks that want to lend, right? All you have to do is find the people that have a network of your ideal client. And when I was doing all these loans, my ideal client were doctors. I was looking to get in touch with physicians, but it was a pain in the ass trying to get in touch with physicians because they're never available. So
Yeah.
instead of me chasing them, trying to offer my loans to them for their business, I just partner with the medical device salespeople. And these became my MVPs, my most valuable partners, because they needed my financial services, the loans, to sell their equipment. It made it more palatable to offer 500 bucks a month instead of 50 grand up front. Plus, it's tax deductible. So these MVPs literally brought me deal after deal after deal. And all these deals were pre sold, pre closed, ready to sign clients because I'm just leveraging the psychology of trust. The equipment seller already has the trust of the doctor because the doctor already decided they're going to buy the ultrasound machine or the MRI machine from him. So when they bring me into the fold, they're already going to naturally trust me. The deal's already done. It's just, where's the money? They already told them what the monthly payment's going to be. So there's no surprises. So literally, I do almost zero work. The equipment seller does the work for me. I just get an email with the documents, send them to the customer, they sign them, I'm done. So the process is just super, super simple and it's highly leveraged. And it's like, it's a one-to-many strategy that snowballs. Because think about when you're thinking about medical device people or anyone that sells equipment, really, they have other people that work at their same office that sells equipment too. So now you have one relationship that's spawned into 10 relationships. And then they go to a different company and they bring you along, or they start their own business and they bring you along. So it's the most leveraged model I've ever found.
Got it. And how'd you come up with that MVP model? Like with that?
I was tired of banging my head against the wall trying to talk to these, try to get in touch with doctors,
Right.
and
Right.
I was getting nowhere. So I'm like, well, let me go to the back door, and the back door is through referral partners,
The referral
where
partners.
where, where it's a win-win-win situation. All three parties win.
Got it. Got it. Do you do affiliate? Just a follow up. Do you do affiliate programming too, or you just do it where, like you said, it's a win win for all three parties, right? Do you either
So
or?
there are some of my equipment and device reps that I do pay a commission to for sure. I have no problem with it. If I'm making 10 grand in a deal and I paid my guy 2 grand, okay,
Why not? It's easy,
yeah,
right?
no big
At
deal.
that
There's
point.
plenty to go around.
Right, exactly. What is it? Plenty to eat, as they say, right? I got to follow up to that, man. So, why do businesses struggle to understand the power of their network, and why is networking vital for the success or for the survival of any business, right? So, you came up with this because of your network, right? I'm successful where I'm at, raising capital, and also with my business to an extent through networking, right? So, I think a lot of folks underestimate. They say they have a network, but they don't really. Like, how powerful was that? You think the power of the network?
Well, the power of the network is all in the avatar. So it's all in the niche. The most businesses fail because they don't have a niche. They're trying to serve everybody and do everything and have 4 different products. So the only way you can find a powerful network is have a powerful niche, because now you know exactly where to point that spear at as far as who to build a network with, like, and what questions to ask your current network of who they might know that has the thing. Do you know what I mean? So like when I go to my network, when I was doing my medical deals, I would talk to anybody and everybody in my network on LinkedIn, in my phone, whatever, and say, who do you know that, or who do you know that knows someone that might know someone that sells medical equipment?
Oh
So
my,
it's very, very niched, right?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I can follow up. Hey, it could be dental equipment, it could be ultrasound equipment, it could be MRIs, it could be whatever, cosmetic equipment. Who do you know that might sell this, or know someone that knows someone within that space, even the healthcare space? So this way, you start to narrow down your niche until, instead of saying, "Hey, do you know any businesses that might need funding?" Or "Hey, do you know any people that sell equipment?" Well, what kind of equipment?
Right,
Like,
right.
there's no leverage there.
Man, I feel like I'm talking to like me in a different like meta. What is it? Meta, not metaverse. Yeah, alternate universe, right? Because you and I are talking the same language, sort of, but on the real estate side, right? Like I do the same thing when I'm raising. Like I'll go first, like my inner circle, and say friends and family, like, hey, who do you know that's looking to make double-digit returns, and double their money in 5 years, right? You know, I'm very specific about that, and like just like how you're specific in your medical stuff, I'm very specific in real estate. I don't just say who do you know that wants to make money, right? I don't keep it vague. I'm very precise as far as who I'm looking for, as far as the investor. So it's weird how we're like multiverse. That's the word I was looking for. We're like a different multiverse. You're the medical version of me, and I'm like the real estate. So I love that. So to put a bow on that last question, I was just asking you, do you suggest like for someone, let's say if they're stuck, the first step would be to find that niche, find that ideal avatar as far as like from the demographic, psychographic, narrow it down to the science, and then once they're ready, then go out after them.
Well, I would actually prefer someone to make sure they have a strong foundation to begin with. So I would prefer them actually to first figure out, like, is their current business or job even have the capability to give them the freedom they want? Because if they're in the wrong vehicle, they're never going to get where they want to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you're trying to be in the F1 Formula One race, and you're wanting to be a Ferrari, but you're really in a Camry, you ain't gonna win in a Camry. So I would rather you start there and like figure out, okay, is this actually the right vehicle to be in?
That makes sense. But right, the vehicle. Once you have the right vehicle, then understand your niche, your ideal avatar, and then from there go after them. That makes a lot of sense. To kind of take a step back, I like that. What advice would you give to small business owners and entrepreneurs struggling, especially now in this economy?
Um, so I kind of have a contrarian take on this. Is,
Sure, sure.
I think most entrepreneurs fail for one reason and one reason alone, is because they make bad decisions. And most of these bad decisions are based on fear, which kind of what you're talking about here is like, oh, there's uncertainty with the economy, whatever. But the problem with that line of thinking is it's illogical. Fear doesn't even make any sense if you think about it. Where the hell are we? We're on planet Earth. We're spinning in the middle of nowhere. We don't know how we got here. We don't know where we're going. So this idea of being scared is silly, because you're gonna die. There's nothing to risk because this all ends anyways. So when you start to realize that, okay, what is the only logical next step? Is to have some resiliency. Because if you fall down, you make a mistake, you're going to learn from it, but you might as well get back up, because at the end of the day, if you actually think about it, since we're already going to die, you might as well be resilient and get back up and try again, because life already has the stopwatch on your time. It's going to end it no matter what. So why would you prematurely end it by not getting up and trying again? It's silly. So when you think about it from that cosmic lens and the truth about our existence here, and like there's no other really logical step to take but try again, regardless of what's happening in the economy. It doesn't fucking matter. That's always been the scapegoat. The economy, my niche, it's always something. The people that come up with that, unfortunately, they're not creators, they're victims. And so my point is the only logical step is to get up and try again. And resiliency is what overcomes all of fear, because you get data, you learn from your mistakes, and you eventually always win. It's impossible not to win if you're persistent and consistent. That's the main thing.
That's a great point as far as resiliency, and I know all about that because I've been in and out of credit card debt, but I don't really see it as debt. I don't see it as a bad thing, right? I see it as investing in myself, and some like in some cases it worked, in other cases it doesn't. You just gotta get the hell up and then learn from your mistakes and do it again, and then shift a little bit, right? So I love that. I like that. I like that. That answer. Do you think, as a follow up to that, do you think it's a mindset thing too? Like for me, it's not like, hey, I'm not negative. I'm like, I'm gonna find the way. I don't give a rat's ass. I'm gonna find the way to get it done. Do you think it's a mindset thing? You think certain people just, like you said, victims as far as creators?
Yeah, it's definitely a mindset, but mindset is built by doing stuff. Like rule number one, get good at something. I don't care what it is. Get good at basketball, get at cold calling, get good at trading cards, get good at whatever. And then you'll start to build conviction and start to build confidence. And then you can take that confidence into other arenas of life. Like I got good when I was young at sports. It gave me confidence. So I took that into sales. I got good at sales. I took the confidence from sports into sales. I got good at sales. I took the confidence from sales into entrepreneurship. I got good at entrepreneurship. And you keep snowballing it over and over and over again. So get good at something. Don't drag your feet. Get some. And the way you get good at something and the way you start to have pride in yourself, in your life, is by doing the thing you said you're going to do. Simple. And when you do that over and over again, not only do you build confidence, but you build self-trust. Without self-trust, you can't succeed. So I would focus on baby steps of like, okay, I'm gonna wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Wake up at 6 a.m. That's step number one. Now do it again the next day or add something new to it. But like, become the person you want to become by doing the things you said you're gonna do.
Makes a lot of sense. Baby steps at a time. Wake up early, work out, do what you got to do, right? And little by little build from there, right? So I like that. Where could people, well, before I get into how could people find you, right? Any final thoughts?
Uh, I think that we're living in probably the most amazing time in human history. And so, A, if you're not betting on yourself in entrepreneurship, you're missing the boat. And B, when you're 90 years old in that rocking chair, you don't want to live with regrets. So seize the day and start to build something that really you can own.
I love that. I love that. Where could people find information about your program or you? How can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so creatorslearn.com, because you're hopefully the folks that are listening are creators, and they can take my I have a free 5-minute assessment on their business or their job if it even has the capability of giving them freedom. And it's a simple assessment. It goes into this 3-part framework, and they can literally grade themselves on a scale from 1 to 5 and see if like they're even in the right vehicle to get them where they need to go.
Got it. And then how do you work with people today?
I have one-on-one coaching. I have group coaching. So I do both.
We both got it. Okay, cool. Awesome, man. Jermane, I appreciate our time. It was a fantastic conversation, and I really enjoyed it, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I had a good time.
Jermane Cheathem, everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks for being on my show.
Thanks.
Hi, everybody. Dr. B here, Dr. B Uncensored. Hopefully, you enjoyed that episode. Remember, you are one big deal away. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel now. Take care.